Oasis Audio presents The Man in the Iron Mask by Josephine Wilkinson. Read for you by Fiona Hardingham. Chapter 1. Only a Valet. It began with a letter written to an obscure jailor in the distant fortress of Pignerol at the end of July 1669. Saint-Marc, the governor of the donjon of Pignerol, was alerted to the imminent arrival of a new prisoner. It was of the utmost importance to the king's service, he was told, that the man whose name was given as Eustache Danger should be kept under conditions of the strictest security. Particularly, it was imperative that this man should be unable to communicate with anyone by any means whatsoever. Saint-Marc was being warned in advance of the arrival of his prisoner so that he could prepare a secure cell. He was ordered to take care that the windows of this cell were so placed that they could not be approached by anyone, and that it was equipped with enough doors closing one upon the other, that Saint-Marc's sentries would not be able to hear anything. Saint-Marc himself was once a day to take to this wretch whatever he might need for the day, and he was not under any pretext to listen to what the prisoner might say to him, but instead to threaten to kill him if he tried to speak of anything except his basic needs. The Sieur Poupard, commissioner for war at Pignerol, was on standby waiting to begin work on the secure cell, while Saint-Marc was authorized to obtain some furniture for the prisoner, bearing in mind that, since he is only a valet, this should not cost very much. The letter to Saint-Marc, which was dated July 19th, 1669, was written on the orders of Louis XIV by François Michel Letellier, Marquis de Louvois. Still only 28 years old, Louvois was destined to play a vital role in the story of the Man in the Iron Mask. Serving as Louis XIV's Minister of State for War, Louvois had been educated at the Jesuit Collège de Clermont, in the Rue Saint-Jacques in Paris. Upon leaving the school in 1657, he was instructed in French law by his father, the formidable Secretary of State for War, Michel Letellier. Louvois then served at the Parliament of Metz as councillor before obtaining the surveillance of his father's office. He worked in the Ministry for War for a time, learning the job under his father's guidance. But Letellier would hand over increasing amounts of ministry work to his son, and, upon being made Chancellor in 1677, he would leave Louvois in sole charge. As the Minister for War, the garrison and prison of Pignerol came under Louvois' jurisdiction, as did any prisoner who might be held there. 7 days after Louvois' letter to Saint-Marc had been dispatched, Louis issued a lettre de cachet, or royal warrant under the king's seal and signed by his own hand. Dated July 26, this document, which was countersigned by Michel Letellier, was addressed to Captain Alexandre Dumas, Sergeant Major of the town and citadel of Dunkirk. Captain Dumas, it began, being dissatisfied with the behavior of the man named Eustache Danger, and wanting to make sure of his person, I am writing this letter to tell you that as soon as you see him, you are to seize and arrest him, and conduct him yourself in all security to the citadel of Pignerol. On the same day, Louis wrote to Saint-Marc at Pignerol to advise him that Dumas was bringing the prisoner he had been told to expect. Captain de Saint-Marc, sending to my citadel of Pignerol, under the escort of Captain de Dumas, Major of my city and citadel of Dunkirk, the man named Eustache Danger, there to be kept securely. I write you this letter to tell you that when the said Captain de Dumas has arrived in my citadel of Pignerol with the said prisoner, you have to receive him from his hands and keep him in good and safe custody until further orders from me, preventing him from communicating with anyone either verbally or by writing, and so that you do not encounter any difficulty in the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?